What is going on, everybody? I'm back again with another video, and now I'm in the Bronx, New York, about 45 minutes away from Manhattan, and I'm in the Parkchester section of the Bronx, but I'm gonna make it to Westchester Square to see what's happening in the neighborhood, and then I'm probably gonna see what's around, what it looks like, and I'll probably make my way to another neighborhood around here in the Bronx. So without further ado, join me. So my mission was to get off Westchester Square nearby, but today's a Sunday. I don't know, for some reason the last stop was in Parkchester, so I look at the map and it's not even that far. It's not really like a big of a neighborhood, so you know I love walking, so I'm just gonna walk my way over there, and that way I get a view of what the neighborhood looks like. It's gonna be a little noisy because the SIS train is above ground, but yeah, goes the SIS train right there next to me. But yeah, let me walk around. I'll look at the map to figure out where do I want to go and check out what the neighborhood looks like. The Bronx has a lot of things to offer, you know. It is about a lot of people that are scared to come, but there's so many types of neighborhood here, so I'm gonna show you guys. So here, not much going on. There's a couple of shops around. Barber shops, that's one of the main icons you're gonna see in the Bronx. Barber shops, a couple of delis, but here's a little bit more like peaceful and quiet. So when I get a little forward, I'll figure out what I'm gonna do. Well, this is still part of Parkchester, and I made a video there last year, and it's super diverse. Like I say, a lot of every type of people here from different ethnicities live here. But then we're walking forward in this street, merged with another street. I forget, it's Unionport right here, where all the stores are. There's a funeral over there, but I'm gonna do a block down and then make my right, start making it to the other neighborhood. The weather's really gorgeous today, like 72 degrees maybe, not hot, not cold. So I think it's a perfect day to explore, especially in the Bronx, New York. So got an intersection over here, I got to cross the street over this side, go over the other way and see what can we find. Interesting neighborhood. Here we are, Parkchester, one part of Parkchester, and this is like a street with a lot of shops and restaurants. It's a little bit windy today, so I don't know how the quality will be, but I see some interesting things here ahead of me, so walk around and show you what's going on ahead of me. I think you guys are gonna like it. So we got some shops right here. Also, Parkchester was also designed by the same people that designed Stuytown, literally by the Lower East Side in Manhattan. Right here you got, I think it's like a flower shop. There's a supermarket across from me, halal meat, open 24 hours. That's something pretty interesting. And I'll make a detour over here, and then look, they got some pretty cool stuff across the street. So this is pretty interesting. It's a pretty interesting street right here. So I think if I go 2 blocks down, it should be Castle Hill Street, and it borders one side Parkchester, and the other side should be Westchester Square. So wow, super diverse here, you know. Really nice neighborhood. And then you see like all the bazaars, halal meat, mostly like a Middle Eastern neighborhood here in the heart of the Bronx, but it's really cool. So let's do 1 block ahead and see what can we find. As you can see, we got some shops over here, stores across the street with apartment complex. Today is Sunday, so there is still people. I don't know, maybe in a weekday there should be more people happening over here, but yeah, nice stores, everything, you know. This is like a neighborhood that a lot of people, they don't really venture, you know. It's pretty cool. Like I say, Westchester Square, that's actually my first time going. You know, I had a recommendation in my videos to go check it out, so that's exactly what I'm gonna do right now. Walk over there to see what's going on. You know, I go with the flow. It's right here ahead of me, Castle Hill Avenue. And then on the other side, that's the beginning of Westchester Square. So I say this is a first to me. Don't know really much what to expect. All I know is I see a huge diversity of people over here, and these are the type of neighborhoods I like exploring. So far I see here a beautiful supermarket. So wow. Yeah, so this is something pretty interesting and super local. Pretty nice supermarket right here. Looks like it's a Bangladeshi supermarket, because I know this community over here has a high population of Bangladeshi people, so makes it pretty interesting. Once you get off over here, you start seeing like regular houses. But yeah, let's work my way a little deeper in the neighborhood to see what's going on. So far, you end up in a neighborhood like this. The houses kind of resembles me a little bit, some parts of Brooklyn, New York, like by Bushwick and Sunset Park. Pretty peaceful and quiet over here. And keep in mind, you know, just like any bar in New York City, the Bronx is super huge. And there's a lot of diversity, like in terms of the structures of buildings and how the neighborhood looks like. You could go to some parts where they got high-rise buildings, a lot of apartment complexes. Then you could go to another part where it's pretty much residential with beautiful houses. So it literally has it all. The thing is, where do I go? Here or there? I think I'm gonna make my way over this way. And then I'll keep an eye on the map to see what's going on. But I think I see some pretty interesting things here ahead of me. Like some trees, everything. But this one literally takes me back to the avenue where the subway train is. But there's like a really nice looking house here ahead of me that I want to show you guys. This is the house over here. I think the train is over that way, the Sis train, but I'm gonna walk over here, see where the street takes me to. Look at this house, pretty nice. Then the regular street over here, you know, quiet. Like I said, it's pretty much all these neighborhoods around here are mostly like residential. Like the farther deeper you go up in the Bronx, the better it gets, you know. Like I made a video last summer or last year in Pelham Bay, which is all the way deep at the last stop of the Sis train. And it was a beautiful neighborhood that makes you wonder, like, is this the Bronx? But it's actually not far from here, but yeah. So far, pretty interesting. Then I think the main avenue over here is East Tremont Avenue. And it'll take you all the way deep down to Throgs Neck. So got more here. A lot of vegetation here too, so pretty interesting. But let's keep walking forward to see what else can we find here in Westchester Square. Here I am still going, so I think I'm gonna go over here and then make another left. Let me see what's going on. Not much happening, just like regular houses, you know. But a really beautiful day today, you know, perfect weather. Like I said. Then I think there's like another market over here, mostly like halal joints happening over here. So I think the majority of the people that live here are probably South Asian, Middle Eastern, you know. But this is like more local. So let me make a left here, see what's going on over this way. So you do see a couple of people around, but it's like you literally don't hear much of a noise when you walk around the streets here in this neighborhood. But I'll figure out how it changes when I go to East Tremont. I think that part is gonna be different. So over here you got another bizarre supermarket, or like basically halal supermarket. There's tons of them around this neighborhood. And I think I'm just gonna walk all the way straight. Then once I get to Tremont Avenue, I'll make a right and walk all the way to the end. That's probably like the main street with all the stores and everything happening, to see what's going on. But yeah, so far, you know, pretty standard neighborhood, but pretty nice and quiet residential area. So as I'm walking over here, there are some signs like announcing Eid Mubarak, which is what the Muslims celebrate, and a couple of Islamic centers over here. So at some point it kind of gives me a vibe when I was traveling around Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, which is pretty amazing, a nice city, you know. But yeah, we even have a hospital. Emergency room right here in the middle of this neighborhood. So I know there's a couple of huge hospitals around the Bronx too. They're mostly all the way up here in the north side of the Bronx. So here I am getting to the end of this road, and then right here is East Tremont Avenue. There's kind of like a main avenue over here in this section of Westchester Square. So we're gonna walk towards the end, which should be a couple of intersections that connect together. But this road, if I walk it straight, it will take me to another neighborhood over here that's a little bit like isolated, but it's called Throgs Neck. But they have a bridge also that's called Throgs Neck. So maybe I'll push forward and walk to the other side to see what's going on. As I continue my walk, I had to make a detour in a little tiny street like this, because there are some things that are pretty cool. Not only like the beautiful houses, but then look, they got a street mural right here. And it's a restaurant, La Masa. I'm not sure if it's like a Colombian restaurant, but look, the mural is just like beautiful. So, you know, every block in New York is pretty interesting and worth looking at. So you just got to keep your eyes all over where you walk, because you might miss out on something pretty cool. But yeah, pretty beautiful mural. But now let's keep walking it all the way to the other side of the neighborhood. Another cool thing about this section of the Bronx is that you can rent the scooters. They got a couple of apps where you can do the scooters, and I see a lot of people, they rent them out here. They also got like e-bikes, so that's something you don't see in another borough in New York. So not much happening over this way, but I'm gonna keep it going forward. And this neighborhood also borders with Pelham Bay. You might think it's far, but if you take a close-up look at the map, you see that a lot of neighborhoods are literally like connected. Kind of like any other type of neighborhood in Queens. Kind of like any other type of neighborhood in New York City. If you go to Queens, you know, Brooklyn, there are so many neighborhoods that are borders with each other. So yeah, you know, it's the beauty about exploring. And I always like going off the beaten path in different neighborhoods of this city, and in New Jersey too. Another interesting thing that I get asked many times is like, is it worth it to have a car in New York? And I always say, you know, it's pretty much a luxury, but it also depends what neighborhood do you live or plan to be based on. And maybe in a neighborhood like this, but depending how your commute is gonna be, like where do you work and stuff, but this neighborhood could be helpful if you have a car, because it's like a little bit far and it's pretty much residential. And as I was walking, I saw a lot of street parking available, so this might be a good neighborhood to own a car. And over here, there's more interesting things happening. Not much on the other side, just a couple of fast food chains, but over here, they got a couple of business. But pretty much, you know, pretty standard, nothing crazy, you know. But yeah, something local. But I mean, no matter what type of neighborhood you go in New York City, it's always convenient because they always have shops. They got delis and bodegas, you know, with a walking distance, so it's something that's pretty interesting. So here they got a Key Food supermarket where you can do your groceries. You know, here's kind of like an intersection that merges. But yeah, the one thing I noticed, a lot of businesses are closed here, look. It's like in many other neighborhoods too, not just this one. Seems like the pandemic really affected a lot, you know, but it's been already 3 years since that happened, but still, you can see it. So there should be a mini park ahead of me, and you see the subway stops around there. Let me see if I can cross the street and see what's happening. One cool department store you're gonna see a lot of neighborhoods, ABC store. In my own neighborhood I used to live in Newark, they have it. And you can find literally everything for a decent amount of price. From furniture to, you know, products, anything you want, you name it, they have it. So that's why another reason in New York City they probably don't have many malls, because they got like all these local stores that you could get anything. So unfortunately the park is closed, so not sure they're gonna redevelop it or what's going on. The subway station is here, but it's closed. So East Tremont goes over that way, and this is where the 6th train line is. But today, Sunday, the last stop was in Parkchester, but that's kind of like the mini main street that takes you with Westchester Square. So pretty standard, but you know, now I'm gonna go to other neighborhoods. I'm kind of like in the border with another neighborhood, Pelham Bay, but I'm gonna make my way to Throgs Neck to see what's going on. They recommend me not only to check Westchester Square, but check out Throgs Neck. So it's not far from here, well, according to the map, so might be farther in real life, but I love walking, so let's go explore that other neighborhood over here in the Bronx. Walking over here, there's a bridge over here. Not sure if I'm passing a highway or something, but I'm thinking this other side should be Pelham Bay neighborhood. Residential area, then yeah, there's literally a highway over here. As I've done in many of my videos, I always cross the highway. Pretty interesting how this building is on the bridge above the highway. That's something pretty interesting. And this over here is another interesting neighborhood in the Bronx. So, but yeah, let's walk forward. I think it gets super residential when I keep going straight. Over here gets a little bit nicer. You know, I see people like kind of barbecuing from a distance. The houses, they look pretty much nicer on this side. But yeah. There's so much to see. And this is Tremont, and it goes deep in the other side of the Bronx, connected with many other neighborhoods in the Bronx. So maybe one day I'll do the whole stretch of Tremont Street, East Tremont. So, but yeah, let's keep walking forward to see what else can we find. Pretty interesting things looking ahead of me. So a lot of business on this side, and the way how the streets are labeled and the structure of the buildings, it kind of resembles a little bit of Morris Park, which is also another neighborhood in the Bronx. Also not too far from there's another section called Little Yemen. which is like a highly Middle Eastern neighborhood, mostly Yemeni people that migrated here when they were going through the war. So there's a lot more happening in the other side of the street. I gotta tell you, it kind of gives you a vibe, like a little town vibe. The community, you know, the peaceful and quietness going on over here. I should keep going forward. This would be like a highway. I don't know if it's gonna be on top or in the bottom. Then once I go in the other side, that should be the other neighborhood, Throgs Neck, which I've never been here. But one thing I noticed about here, a lot of cool looking restaurants like Havana Cafe. There's another one there with an outdoor dining. A lot of people there, they're eating, and they got like good music. So I guess it got, you know, pretty interesting restaurants if you want to come out with your friends. Maybe the nightlife might be pretty good here. Actually, it says Throgs Neck over here, so this might be the border too. I'm gonna keep walking forward and explore more of the neighborhood. Starting to feel the summer vibes already, and like, no lie, I gotta say like 80% of the guys I see walking around here, they have a Yankees hat, so you know, strictly Yankees territory right here in the Bronx, Yankees Nation. If you're a fan of baseball, you know, this is what represents the Bronx, New York, an icon. Then over here they got a cemetery, not sure how much you can see, but it's pretty big. So it's a cemetery that stands all the way at the end. And then I think once I surpass the cemetery and a bridge or something that's going on ahead, the neighborhood should be like more interesting. But yeah, keeps going. This is pretty standard, doesn't compare to the cemetery I saw in Sleepy Hollow in New York. Also I heard Brooklyn got one that's pretty beautiful. So now the weather's getting nicer, I'm probably gonna go someday and check it out. Gotta tell you, the cemetery keeps going over here. So it's pretty big, pretty massive. Then in this highway, they got between gas stations and dealerships right here. So maybe I could call this like the Northern Boulevard or the Bronx. It's getting a little bit hot too. But let's keep walking forward to see what else can we find. This should be Interstate 95 that will take you all the way to Canada, and if you go south it takes you to Florida. Then right in the other side begins Throgs Neck neighborhood. One of the busiest interstates in the United States is right here in New York. And it surpasses another neighborhood, which is Co-op City. You see what's going on? Since it's Sunday, you don't really see much of a traffic jam, so. But yeah, that's what the highway looks like. You can even see from a distance Manhattan. But now I'm deep inside Throgs Neck. And they got a lot of business going on over here. Around the street, even across the street. And so far, I like this neighborhood. I think it looks much nicer than Westchester Square. You know, pretty interesting. Like I said, it has like a small town vibe, but it's a city, especially Bronx. But let's go forward to see what else can we find. And back in the days, like I said, this neighborhood used to be super isolated, but then they built a bridge. I think that bridge goes into Queens. And yeah, that bridge is called Throgs Neck Bridge, so it literally connects this neighborhood with Queens or other areas. And then a couple of restaurants, a bike shop, and then we got a restaurant here with outdoor dining. Like I said, I've seen a lot of those in this street over here, which is pretty interesting. And I forgot that today is Sunday, so that explains why a lot of people, they're out there eating with their family and loved ones. So yeah, pretty interesting. But yeah, nice looking restaurant. And there's more business going on over here. This one even has a parking spot. Laundromat, you know. But I gotta say, this neighborhood is pretty dope. The only bad thing, it doesn't have a subway line that gets here, so if you don't have a car, you have to take the bus, rely on the bus. It would be cool if we have a public transportation that connects with this neighborhood, so it's pretty nice. It was pretty nice so far. But so far, it's so different over here, you know. It looks like, I don't know, like another town or somewhere else. But I'm doing the main street, but I'm gonna see if I can merge this into some of the regular streets to see what it looks like. I know it's gonna be pretty cool. I'm making a detour here to see what some of these regular streets looks like in this neighborhood. Probably gonna make one right here to my left. So far, it looks pretty nice, beautiful. So let's see what's happening. And yeah, so far, pretty nice. And it's like a different vibe from one of the main streets. As soon as you get off the main street, it's just like peaceful and quiet, you know. So beautiful over here, you know, they got beautiful houses. And diversity, all kinds of people you see over here. Look, I really love the vegetation of the trees, you know. But the houses, that's a good thing about springtime and the summertime. So, you know, when the weather's nice and there's leaves, it gives like a different vibe to a neighborhood. And like I say, I notice there's like plenty of parking over here. So if you own a car, it shouldn't be an issue. But yeah, so far it's so gorgeous over here. I could live here if they had like a subway system, pretty isolated. But yeah, so this is more like for families, I guess. You know, you could raise a family over here. So it really makes you feel like you're in another town or even another state. But this is the Bronx, you know. Don't be afraid don't be afraid to explore the Bronx. I've said it many times. The Bronx has this unique beauty, and the media always portray Bronx like it's bad, but that's not the case. Like any other place, it has good and bad. Look at these houses. Gorgeous. Really love the triangle in the top. But yeah. But you see, you know, one of the regular streets, but there's tons of streets over here, so now I'm just gonna make it back to East Tremont Street to see what's happening over there. How does the shops looks like around this beautiful, gorgeous neighborhood. The one thing I like is how blue the sky is. Makes it better for me to vlog, you know, go outside and film, get some footage. But that's the street right there. But now I'm just gonna make it back to East Tremont Street to see what type of excitement is happening around. Like you'll see in any local neighborhood, they got Fine and Fair supermarket right here. Not much here, but I think if I go forward, there's gonna be some more business going on. There's more business over here. And then one thing, this over here resembles a little bit like 65th Street by Queens Boulevard, like near Regal Park, like pretty much, you know, similar, like the structure of buildings and the houses and the business. It kind of resembles a little bit like that. You know, it's crazy how you go to different neighborhoods in New York City and one neighborhood resembles another neighborhood. So I guess pretty much like everything is connected. So another thing that I forgot, and it actually made sense, is not only the Sunday thing. I know this video is going to be uploaded a little bit late, but another crazy thing that explains why all the restaurants like pack and a lot of people buying flowers is because today is Mother's Day. So I know this video is going to be late, but I just want to wish all the amazing mothers there a happy Mother's Day, you know, all the hard workers' mom, and especially my mom. If you're watching this, happy Mother's Day, and to my grandma in Puerto Rico, happy Mother's Day. But yep, let's keep up with the walk. And then also it might explain why a lot of businesses are closed, because today is Sunday, you know. But yeah, the more you walk over here, the nicer it gets. Shops over here, then this, like I say, it's Sunday today, so maybe if you come in a weekday, there's a bit more going on. Then over here is a mini supermarket. Local supermarket, wow, pretty lit today, a lot of people. Over here, you know, here's another restaurant, but there's music playing, but so far, I gotta say that I'm really loving this neighborhood. Throgs Neck in the Bronx, and there are so many places that I've never been here in this borough, so I gotta come back and explore. Even if it's a little bit out my way and a little bit far, but it's so really worth to walk around, you know, and discover like new things, and you know, just regular people going on with their daily lives. And today is a beautiful day, Mother's Day, and people just enjoying this amazing day, you know. Thank God that we're here alive, you know. Right by me, I'm passing another highway, which is 295. And if you go over that way, it takes you all the way to Queens, and it passes the bridge. So there you see what's going on. And like I say, it's Sunday, so a beautiful day. We're going, there's an airplane, because actually, in the other side, which is Queens, is LaGuardia Airport, so pretty cool and pretty interesting. So another cool thing about this neighborhood is that it has a park ahead of me that I'm gonna walk. And it's served by the NYC ferry, which is one of my favorite ways of commuting around the city. So I'm probably gonna walk towards the end, and maybe I'll take the ferry back to Manhattan. And here you see how some of the streets be looking like. Pretty nice and beautiful. Oops. There's the scenery happening in my left side, but I'm not gonna show what's going on. Some New York moments, you know. If you see anything happening, just keep it moving, don't get involved. But yeah, pretty nice street right here. Pretty nice street over here, you know. Look at this house. Kind of looks like those little tiny houses that you move. Wow. And then one thing, like I said many times, watch your steps, and because of trees like this, you know, if you don't pay attention, you could just trip and fall down. But this is just beautiful. This area over here is mainly Latino. But you'll see a bit of everything, you know. But I feel like it's more like a community vibe because everybody gets along, like everybody helps and looks out for each other. But yeah, I have an idea what's going on. But yeah, so far, gotta say I'm impressed and I really love this neighborhood. It's beautiful. The part that I want to check out is Ferry Point Park. And like I say, it's served by the ferry. You know, New York City Ferry has a line that comes here to the Bronx. It passes over there. I think it goes to Soundview too, and then it goes like the Upper East Side and all the way to Wall Street. So that's a good way to connect this neighborhood to Wall Street. But like I say, this neighborhood is pretty big, so it's a little bit far from you to walk towards the ferry. So it would be helpful if they have like a subway line that gets here, but hey, you never know. But there's a park over here and there's grass, but it seems like it's a golf course. So I don't know, there's a way for me to get in and go to the other side. But I'm gonna figure out, I'm probably gonna walk, I already walk a good amount. Look at this, they got like alleyways here with parking lots. And I think the water should be there too, so I kind of smell the water from here, but yeah. Pretty nice area over here, and yeah. Let me see what's going on ahead of me. Here we got some apartments, and gotta say, looking at this buildings and smelling like the sea or the ocean, kind of resembles me a little bit of the Jersey Shore. I also like the peaceful and the way how you hear the birds. But yeah, so many houses over here and a lot of apartment complexes, you know. And then like I say, it's mostly, you know, families, like working families. And it's pretty huge. Also, I gotta say, I'm starting to feel the summer vibes because I can smell the barbecues around. A lot of people that are barbecuing, enjoying this lovely day. Like I say, Mother's Day, so yeah. Let me see if there's a way I can get in the park and go to the other side. So I see an entrance over here, and it looks pretty nice. It's like the entrance of a park, and I see a bridge, Whitestone Bridge, where it takes you from Bronx to Whitestone and Queens. So I'm gonna try to go in. I saw a guy with a bike and see where this trail is gonna take me. So you see it right here, the neighborhood, and then this is the entrance to the park, and there's a massive bridge right here. Never been in this side. That's why you gotta explore. Wow, let me see, what's the name of this park? Yeah, Ferry Point Park. From 6 o'clock to 10 o'clock at night. I did a lot of workout today. But yeah, let's see where this takes me. So far looking pretty beautiful. I'll show you what's going on ahead of me. And there it is. I gotta say, this reminds me of Bayonne in New Jersey. Like the neighborhood, the bridges. I see the beautiful house in Queens. That must be Queens over there. That's it, I gotta tell you, wow. Look at this nice view in the sky, and there's actually a golf course over here, so. And I see from a distance, you can't really see it because this camera doesn't zoom, but there are some beautiful mansions on the other side in Queens, so I'm gonna have to go someday and explore that side. Then I see a couple of people biking, so I think this is much better when you got a bike to bike around. The more I walk, the harder it feels, but yeah, perfect day. So I think this might be also like mangrove, something going on. But yeah, look at this. Also resembles a little bit Lincoln Park in Jersey City, like the hills, everything like that with a bridge. This is a nice shot right here. And I see a boat over there, and I can hear some music playing. So I'm not sure if it's coming from the boat or some of those mansions over there. Maybe there's like a restaurant with a view of this, so. But yeah, so far, pretty interesting. So let me see if I can make it to the other side. Wow, this is a massive park. Massive park, so I gotta see if I can try to catch the ferry. So look at this view, wow. There's another bridge over there. And then it keeps going. Like I look at the map, it looks like there was nothing else, but hopefully this will take me to the other side where I wanna go. And then there's people fishing. I see also like a ferry, I don't know if they're giving like tours. But let's see what can I find. There's some chairs there you can sit down and have an amazing view. And here's Whitestone Bridge. And Whitestone is also another cool neighborhood in Queens, which I've never been, but maybe one day I'll go and check it out. Let me see, hopefully this is not the ending. Hopefully I can go in the other side. we try to figure it out. Yeah, there's a fence over there, so it's literally up to here. So I don't know how I'm gonna make it to the other side. I already walked a freaking massive distance, so I really don't know. But hey, maybe I'll just walk to the other side, see what's going on. I guess the good thing I get about this, going this way, is that I get this lovely view over here of the two amazing bridges, you know. Something that I would never thought it would be right here, but you know, we discover it, so at least that's the positive thing I see about this. But yeah, let's make it to the other side of the park. So after like another good 20-minute walk, I walk to the other side. The park continues going over here, so I just gotta figure my way how to get to the side where the ferry is. That's like probably the most isolated ferry station we got here in New York, but hey, we'll see. So I gotta say, this has been a fail. I literally tried to cross by a cemetery, but looking at the map and looking around, there's literally no way to get to the other side of the park and get the ferry by pedestrian. So I think it's better if you have a bike or a car to get to the other side. So I think I'm just gonna head back to the closest subway stop and make it back to Manhattan. But I think I'm already seeing enough around here. I'll show you guys enough about the neighborhood around here in the Bronx, and so far it's pretty beautiful. So that was the end of my video. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for more. Be safe out there, everybody. God bless y'all, and peace.